All right, so if you found this video, you're likely looking for a We Buy Houses company in Gastonia, North Carolina. My name is Matthew Mann. I'm the owner of M1 Property Group. I thought I'd put together a quick video just to offer our services and show you how we might be able to help you out. So if you are looking to sell in Gastonia, what's our ultimate service? So we're problem solvers. First and foremost, we try to go the extra mile and make the selling process as simple and easy as possible. Our number one goal is just flat out beat the traditional selling methods. We typically deal with a lot of complex real estate problems. Properties need major repairs, multiple error situations, title issues such as liens and judgments, even properties that can't be financed because the banks won't lend on them because maybe they don't have HVAC systems or structural issues or there's water and fire damage or something like that. But the list kind of goes on and on. So, what do we ultimately offer to you is convenience, easy process, speed, flexibility, no need to make expensive repairs. We can actually offer moving assistance, and then you don't even have to clean out the house if you don't want to. So you can literally take what you want and leave the rest. We've bought houses completely full of furniture, so a lot of our sellers really like that. There's not going to be any realtor commissions because we're buying direct, and it's basically for sell by owner transaction. No closing costs, so we're going to cover all the buyer and seller closing costs. All closing with the local real estate attorney. That's Harry Marsh Law. Worked with them the last 5 years. They do all our North and South Carolina closings. Extremely professional, reputable company that understands complex real estate issues. So highly regarded real estate closing attorney. And lastly, we can offer a mobile notary for the closing. So you don't actually even have to physically attend the closing. You don't have to worry about driving across town. We can have a mobile notary come to you at your work or at home. You sign the documents, they notarize them, and then they drop them off to Harry's office. And that's basically all they need to close the transaction. So I've kind of outlined a lot of the benefits that we provide in our process in the blue column there, the traditional sale process in the yellow column on the right. So repairs, you're likely going to need to make repairs to get your house market ready. And most realtors are going to, give you advice on what they think you need to do. Cleaning, you're going to need to clean. I mentioned you don't have to clean at all for our process, but you're going to need to clean, and then you're actually going to need to keep the house clean in between showings, which can be usually a little difficult, like if you have, kids or if you've got pets and that sort of thing. Showings. So after the realtor puts the MLS listing up, you need to be prepared for a number of showings throughout all times of the day. That could be before work. If you're the buyer, maybe it's before work or during their lunch hours or after work or something like that. So you got to be prepared for that. The Realtor Commission, 6% of the sale price. Closing costs, you'll need to pay your own closing costs, but then it's not uncommon for the buyer to actually ask for closing cost assistance, maybe because they're a little strapped for cash or whatever the case may be. Time, so most retail buyers need mortgage companies, and those are going to take probably 30 to 45 days to close. Some can stretch actually all the way up to 60 days, I think some of the FHA loans. And then moving assistance. So good luck getting the buyer to pay for your moving costs. That is something we offer, though. And then coordination. We'll literally do anything we can to help you out. And we'll run around. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. But in a traditional sale, you're for the most part on your own, but you can lean on your realtor to some degree. All right, so we do like to educate our sellers on the cost to sell, if they're considering maybe going with us or a traditional sell route, because in a traditional sale, there's a ton of costs that rack up that a lot of people just don't take into account. So those can include realtor commissions, 6% of the sale price, closing costs, that can usually be somewhere between 2 to 4% of the sale price. And that can be on the higher end if you've got the buyer asking you to pay for their closing costs. The holding costs, so things like utilities, insurance, interest, HOA, and landscaping, and that can vary from property to property. Repairs to get the property market ready. If you've got to do a roof replacement or HVAC change out or something like that can really add up pretty quick. And that's not even including the repairs that if your buyer hires a home inspector, which in most cases they will, Home inspector is going to come up with their list of items that need, addressing, and then the buyer will review those and come up with the repair requests for you to fix or either issue them a credit. So you have to consider that as well. And then the last couple contractual items. So you've got a lot of buyers like to have a home warranty, and that's usually around $500. And then another thing you might not think about is actual appliances, the cost of those. So the buyer might request that you leave behind the fridge and the washer and dryer or whatnot. So something to keep in mind. But anyway, the average cost can quickly add up. It could be somewhere in the ballpark of maybe 12 to 15% of the list price. So something to consider. Again, a lot of people don't have a ton of experience with selling properties, and that might not be at the top of their head that there's going to be this gross amount, the list price that they're looking at, and there's going to be that sort of almost like your paycheck after taxes and after benefits and everything taken out, that sort of net amount that's left over. So, what kind of property do we buy? We're problem solvers, so a lot of them are complicated issues that we have to work through. We try to come up with tailored solutions, usually where a traditional seller or realtor won't work. So, we have experience with foreclosures, those sellers that are behind on payments, underwater, major repairs, fire damage, water damage, code enforcement violations, inherited, probate, multiple heir situations, and that those can be relatively complicated, actually. Retirement situations, relocation, maybe for work or something like that. Easement issues with vacant land or just vacant land in general. Unfinanceable properties, those properties with title issues such as liens and judgments. Back taxes. So as you can see, most of the properties we deal with have complications that your average retail buyer, they're just not going to be able to handle. So just wrapping it up, I think you have to ask yourself if you're willing to wait, 3 to 4 months to get maybe 85% or so of your list price by going the traditional route. With our process, at least, there's not going to be repairs, no commissions, no closing costs, quick closings, and then you basically take what you want and leave the rest. No need to even clean. So, and then lastly, we can offer moving assistance, and that's not to say we can't try to be a benefit in some other way, but these are the most common benefits that we offer to everybody. But I do appreciate you taking the time to check out the video. We do buy houses and land in Gastonia, North Carolina. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out. You can reach us at our office at 704-727-6161. You can email us at info@m1propertygroup.com. And you can also fill out a web form at our site at www.m1propertygroup.com. Again, I do appreciate you taking the time to check out the video, and I hope you found it helpful.